Dinar shift, the air in the global financial community has become electric tonight, driven by widespread, yet carefully filtered, information suggesting a momentous shift is underway with the Iraqi dinar. Sources across the international banking sector, supported by corroborating evidence from prominent currency specialists and internal banking systems, are all pointing to the same development. The contract rates for the Iraqi dinar are reportedly live. This is not simply another fleeting rumor in a decade-long saga of speculation. This time, the confirmations are being tied to specific, measurable system movements within major financial platforms, both here in the United States and overseas, signaling that the long-anticipated process of revaluation, or RV, may finally be moving into its definitive active phase. The sheer volume and consistency of reports flooding in just before 7:00 p.m. local time tonight are compelling financial observers to take notice. Key banking insiders and contacts who monitor the inner workings of cross-border financial networks have indicated that substantial system updates were initiated across several major banking platforms. These adjustments were flagged internally not as routine day-to-day data refreshes, but specifically as entries related to rate alignment and adjustment, which is highly unusual for a typical business day. Within a short time frame, specialist currency monitors began detecting clear indicators that the contract rates for the Iraqi dinar had been activated on a selection of major international systems, effectively moving the currency into a new operational status. This type of structured, synchronized system activity is typically understood within the banking industry to be the preparatory groundwork for a full-scale deployment, rather than a mere procedural test. For months, currency analysts have meticulously tracked and publicly discussed the exact sequence of events that would signal the commencement of the revaluation process. That sequence, they argued, would involve precisely these stages: system updates, followed by the visible activation of contract rates, and finally official public confirmation. The very fact that this activity was timed to coincide with the evening banking window, a globally synchronized period, suggests this was a major, calculated financial maneuver, not an accidental occurrence, thereby fueling the unprecedented level of interest and activity within the global dinar community. To fully grasp the significance of this development, it is essential to understand the timing itself. The evening period, generally spanning from 7:00 p.m. to 11:00 p.m. Eastern Time, represents a crucial synchronization window in the worldwide financial framework. It is during these specific hours that global banks process crucial overnight rate adjustments, perform foreign exchange Forex alignments, and ensure the seamless calibration of major cross-border banking networks, including the influential SEFTI system, in preparation for the next international trading cycle. It is the perfect, low disruption time for a major currency reform. Many financial experts have long theorized that should the government of Iraq decide to introduce new contract rates for its currency into the global system, they would strategically utilize this very quiet, yet globally connected after-hours window. Doing so allows the Central Bank of Iraq to minimize any potential market volatility or disruption and provides major international banks and financial institutions the necessary hours to fully calibrate their systems before public awareness and global markets react to the shift. The precision of tonight's reported timing lends considerable weight to the view that this event is the result of long-term planning and deliberate, synchronized execution by international partners. Meanwhile, inside Iraq, all recent domestic financial activities appear to align perfectly with the reported international system changes. In the preceding weeks, the country's financial landscape has shown a steady, pronounced build-up toward a major reform. Crucially, the Central Bank of Iraq recently concluded the necessary recalibration of the nation's budget, a massive undertaking required to absorb a change in the currency's value. Furthermore, there have been confirmed reports that new lower denomination notes have been discreetly distributed within key regions for pre-operational testing, a physical step indicating a readiness for currency adjustment. Beyond the introduction of new notes, a vital component of domestic readiness has been the technical upgrade of Iraq's ATM network. Reports confirm that automated teller machines across the country have been recalibrated, ensuring they are technically capable of handling transactions involving both the currently circulating banknotes and any new categories that might be introduced. Simultaneously, the Iraqi Ministry of Finance has publicly committed to a clear agenda of restoring trust in and strengthening the value of the national currency. Virtually every official statement and government update over the last month has signaled a final conclusion: the entire domestic system is operationally ready. With tonight's breaking reports now confirming the activation of live contract rates on the international front, it appears that the final critical step in this extensive, coordinated financial reform has been taken. This signifies the culmination of years of structural preparation, technological upgrades, and financial diplomacy, bridging the gap between Iraq's domestic efforts and the global financial infrastructure. The simultaneous movement on both the domestic and international levels strongly suggests that the final phase of the currency revaluation process is now in motion, transitioning from planning to implementation. So, what exactly are these contract rates that are causing such a stir across global financial platforms? Simply put, a contract rate is a distinct, predetermined, and usually higher exchange rate offered under specific, limited agreements. These specialized rates are generally reserved for a select group of entities, which can include major institutions, humanitarian organizations, or certain private groups that have pre-negotiated holding or exchange agreements. It is critical to understand that these rates are almost always higher than the eventual public exchange rate, which is the value that the general currency holding public will ultimately see once the revaluation is officially released and trading begins openly. Historically, the appearance of these non-public contract rates within the sophisticated interbank and international settlement systems has been regarded as a significant unambiguous signal. It represents the clearest marker that the lengthy currency revaluation process has officially entered its final countdown phase, preceding the eventual public release of the new exchange rate. This is precisely why the reported system updates tonight are being interpreted by the specialized dinar community and currency observers as the long-awaited and definitive confirmation that the structural shift is truly upon them. The anticipated revaluation process itself typically follows a highly structured, tiered rollout plan designed to ensure stability, security, and controlled market absorption. Tier 1 of this structure involves governments, sovereign funds, and central banking institutions. Tier 2 typically includes major international organizations and large-scale humanitarian programs. Tier 3 is generally reserved for private groups that hold significant pre-approved, documented currency agreements. The general public falls into Tier 4, which is often split into Tier 4A and Tier 4B, with the latter representing individual, early holders of the currency like private citizens. The system operates in a logical step-by-step progression. Once contract rates become visible and functional within the system for the upper tiers, specifically Tiers 1, 2, and 3, major banking institutions begin the logistical preparations for the subsequent steps. This preparation involves setting up the infrastructure to notify and process the exchanges for the Tier 4 groups, which include the vast community of private individuals holding the dinar. Only after this initial contained wave of exchanges stabilizes does the final, definitive step occur, which is the introduction of the new rate onto the public foreign exchange Forex market. Reviewing historical patterns from similar currency events, once these contract rates are successfully activated and operating for the higher tiers, the transition to the public-facing Forex rate can follow relatively quickly. The timeline for this final step is often estimated to be anywhere from 24 to 72 hours, though this depends entirely on the stability of the global system integration and the completion of all necessary confirmation steps by the central financial authorities. The current focus remains on ensuring that the foundational contract rate activation holds steady throughout the crucial hours following tonight's reports. Shifting the focus to internal developments, news segments on several local Iraqi media outlets have been airing reports focusing on the final stages of the nation's currency reform efforts. The overarching theme of these reports and government communications is clear. Iraq is intensely focused on re-establishing the dinar as the nation's fully trusted, dominant, and ultimately internationally recognized currency. Recent commentary from the Finance Ministry pointedly noted the completion of the structural reform blueprint and the implementation phase, which most analysts agree is a direct reference to the complex transition required for international rate alignment. Furthermore, unverified reports originating from key financial districts in Baghdad suggest that various domestic banks have been actively conducting cross-border settlement tests using the dinar itself. If confirmed, this is a truly monumental step. It demonstrates a palpable surge of financial confidence not only within Iraq's internal banking network but, critically, an acceptance and cooperation from its global partners. Successfully settling international transactions in the dinar, a practice not common for decades, is a powerful indicator of the currency's imminent restoration to a recognized global trading status. A central, overarching objective driving this entire monetary policy shift is Iraq's strategic goal of reducing its dependency on the US dollar. The nation's economy has been undergoing a carefully managed transition aimed at increasing the use of the dinar for both domestic commerce and, increasingly, for international trade settlement. Key oil contracts with regional trade partners are reportedly being restructured to be denominated in dinar, and Iraq's local market has been progressively weaned off its reliance on dollar-based transactions, pushing the national currency into a position of greater prominence and sovereignty. The process has been a highly collaborative effort, particularly the coordination between the Central Bank of Iraq and the U.S. Treasury Department. The core mandate of this cooperation has been to ensure that the monumental shift in the financial system occurs smoothly and without triggering any widespread economic instability or systemic shock. Therefore, when reports surface tonight of live contract rate activation, the event must be viewed in its correct context. It is not merely an isolated local occurrence, but an integral part of a much broader, coordinated global financial adjustment. The most recent developments tonight have also provided critical confirmation regarding a key factor many financial watchers were awaiting: the readiness of major international banks. Insiders familiar with the technical systems of large U.S. financial institutions, including banks like Wells Fargo, Chase, and Bank of America, confirm that their systems are reportedly on high alert. Internal rate screens have allegedly begun displaying placeholder entries for the new dinar, and interestingly, other associated currencies like the Vietnamese dong, which observers state are fluctuating in real time. This real-time fluctuation is the technical signature that truly distinguishes a live, active integration from a simple, static data entry or a test placeholder. This indicates that the dinar is being actively integrated and recognized by the global financial architecture. These specific technical signals are highly consistent with the typical behavior observed in major banking platforms in the moments just before a currency achieves public rate visibility on international Forex exchanges. The implication is clear. The system has officially moved past its protracted testing and preparatory phase and is now in an active launch mode. The immediate next steps in this unfolding scenario are concentrated within the upcoming 24 to 48 hours, which are widely considered to be the most critical window. If the reported contract rates remain stable, active, and consistently visible across global systems, the financial community anticipates an official confirmation announcement. This confirmation is expected to originate first from the Central Bank of Iraq, potentially followed by complementary statements from prominent international financial bodies and partners. This official acknowledgement will be the public stamp of legitimacy on the technical system's shift. Following any official announcements, the logistical process of managing the exchange will begin. Banks will then start the highly organized process of sending out official notifications to the Tier 4 participants, the private holders who have pre-approved status, to schedule their exchange appointments. This initial phase will be conducted in a careful, staggered wave pattern, a necessary step to maintain security and ensure a structured, orderly process. Only once this private, initial exchange phase has stabilized can the next and final step be taken: the public display of the new dinar rate on all global Forex feeds. The decision on what to do next requires calm and heightened awareness. For individuals who hold the Iraqi dinar or other related currencies, this time calls for a mindset of disciplined vigilance. It is paramount to resist the urge to act on emotion or rush into unverified offers. The legitimate process, when it officially unfolds, will be managed exclusively through recognized official banks and certified exchange centers. Verified, clear instructions will be provided directly, and holders should rely solely on these official channels, not on unsolicited calls, random text messages, or unverified online posts. Security and preparation are the watchwords for the coming days. Currency holders must ensure their physical currency is safe and secure. It is also a critical time to prepare all necessary personal identification and documentation, ensuring everything is readily available to act decisively once official exchange appointment schedules are formally announced. The constant danger during such a pivotal moment is the inevitable surge of scams and fraudulent schemes, which historically prey upon the excitement and anxiety of the community. Avoiding false promises and unverified claims is the most important defensive action a holder can take. In addition to defensive planning, holders should now transition to a forward-looking, strategic planning mindset. Should this truly be the long-awaited revaluation, the financial decisions made in the days immediately following the official announcement will have profound long-term implications. It is prudent to consider a balanced approach, perhaps setting aside a portion of holdings for immediate exchange and another, separate portion to hold for potential future value increases, depending on their personal financial strategy. The focus must be on strategic thinking, avoiding impulsive spending or emotional investment decisions. Stepping back to consider the global financial implications reveals that this development extends far beyond Iraq's borders. The successful implementation of this revaluation could easily create a ripple effect, potentially influencing the currency dynamics in other nations, notably those whose currencies, such as the Vietnamese dong and the Zimbabwean dollar, have been the subject of similar discussions. These nations are also exploring new monetary systems tied to genuine economic value and asset backing, moving away from simple dependence on foreign reserve currencies. If Iraq's carefully managed rollout proves to be successful and stable, it could quickly become the blueprint for how emerging economies manage the complex, politically sensitive process of restoring their currency's true strength and achieving a greater degree of financial independence. For central bank governors and financial traders across the world, all eyes are fixed firmly on the dinar's performance, as its success or failure is seen as a potential signpost for a broader global market structure shift and a future path for other developing nations. What makes this progress particularly noteworthy is that it is being achieved after more than 2 tumultuous decades of intensive national economic rebuilding. The journey has spanned post-conflict reconstruction, the daunting task of controlling chronic inflation, and navigating periods of crippling currency instability. The reported revaluation, therefore, represents much more than a simple numerical adjustment. It is seen by many as a powerful rebirth for the nation. It speaks directly to issues of national sovereignty, global economic credibility, and a renewed sense of economic pride for the Iraqi state. For the Iraqi populace, this moment is a powerful symbol of the potential restoration of their nation's financial dignity. For the dedicated global community of dinar currency watchers and long-term holders, it signifies the culmination of years of patient observation, deep research, and a steadfast belief that Iraq would eventually complete its emergence as a stable, significant player on the world's financial stage. The convergence of domestic readiness and international system signals suggests the patience of the community may be finally reaching its reward. The reaction throughout the online dinar community tonight has been one of immense, yet cautious, excitement. Forums, online chat groups, and social media feeds are buzzing with reports and a wave of cautious optimism. Phrases indicating that the system is active, or that rates are visible, are being widely shared. For those who have held the currency for many years, the confluence of technical and anecdotal signs is finally providing the hard evidence they have been waiting for. Amidst the euphoria, however, seasoned voices are urgently advising for absolute calm, stressing that official public confirmation on verified channels, like the Central Bank of Iraq's own website, must be the final and sole trigger for action. From a purely operational standpoint, the timing of introducing the reported live rates late in the evening makes logistical sense. This strategy provides international banks a multi-hour window to effectively synchronize, verify, and audit the system's data accuracy before the major global markets reopen for the new trading day. This meticulous approach is designed specifically to mitigate potential market volatility and prevent any sudden, potentially damaging speculative trading activity, indicating a highly coordinated and deliberate rollout plan involving both Iraq and its major global financial partners. Nothing about the reported developments tonight appears to be random or accidental. Instead, every piece of technical information points towards a careful, deliberate execution of a long-term plan. This systematic approach significantly bolsters the credibility that this event is genuine and not simply another false alarm in the long history of dinar speculation. The structured nature of the reported system changes and the global synchronization involved strongly suggest a high degree of international commitment to the stability of this financial shift. As this dynamic story continues to unfold, analysts are now focusing intensely on the signs of international acknowledgement. In prior major currency events, global coordination between nations often occurs quietly behind the scenes before any public press release is issued. This strategic silence is maintained until all banking systems have confirmed complete stability and data integrity. This measure allows Iraq and its partners to ensure that when the public announcement is finally made, the process is seamless and eliminates the risk of any system rollback or embarrassing data errors. Therefore, while the current silence from formal, official sources may naturally cause frustration and increase tension, it is paradoxically interpreted by experts as a positive indicator that the process is being managed with the utmost precision, discretion, and care. The lack of impulsive public statements is seen as evidence that the global financial partners are prioritizing security and system validation above rapid public relations, which ultimately adds to the confidence in the integrity of the process now underway. The next stage everyone is waiting for with bated breath is the public Forex rate update. This is the precise moment when the dinar's new, revalued exchange rate will become fully visible and tradable across all major global currency platforms and trading applications. When this happens, the revaluation will be officially and globally recognized as a completed fact. Historical precedent suggests that once the Forex rate is displayed, official public exchanges often commence within the following 24 hours. If this historical pattern holds true, the coming day or two could truly be historic for every dinar holder around the globe. We at Dinar Shift will be monitoring this crucial moment continuously, committed to bringing you real-time, confirmed coverage immediately upon the arrival of new confirmations from major international banking platforms and the Central Bank of Iraq. This is a story that is unfolding in real time, and its financial implications are monumental. For every viewer who has been following the Iraqi dinar's story, it is worth pausing to reflect. There have been many rumors over the years, but the current combination of technical signals, insider banking confirmations, and synchronized global timing feels fundamentally different. This moment is not driven by mere hype, it is supported by data, backed evidence suggesting that the long-awaited systemic transition is indeed occurring. Whether a person has been a currency holder for a decade or recently joined the community, tonight truly marks a crucial turning point. We are all witnessing what appears to be the final stage of Iraq's currency revaluation, an event that many people sincerely believed they might never see in their lifetime. Before closing this segment, we offer a final mindset reminder: stay grounded. If this change materializes as expected, emotional reactions will be strong, but ultimate financial success is rooted in meticulous preparation, sustained patience, and the ability to make smart, well-informed decisions. Do not allow fear or greed to dictate the coming choices. Allow knowledge and clarity to be the sole guides for the next steps. Once the official exchange process begins, those who remain calm, fully prepared, and informed will be the ones best positioned to maximize the potential benefits of this financial shift. This moment represents a genuine opportunity to convert years of waiting and speculation into a lasting, secure financial foundation, provided it is handled with calculated wisdom. As the clock moves past tonight's pivotal update window, the prevailing sense is one of certainty. The wheels of change are undeniably turning. The global financial system is reportedly live with the new rates, the technical signals are robust, and every indicator strongly suggests that the final switch has been flipped by the Republic of Iraq. The rise of the dinar is now transitioning from an elusive rumor into an unfolding, verifiable reality. Take a deliberate breath, remain fully engaged and informed, and prepare for the potentially defining days ahead. This current financial activity could well mark the beginning of a brand new era in Iraq's economic history and represents a truly defining moment for every individual who maintained their belief in this long, arduous journey. That concludes tonight's breaking report. If you have followed this story from its inception, acknowledge your own persistence. Your patience and belief are seemingly being rewarded. Stay alert and stay subscribed to Dinar Shift, as we commit to providing immediate, confirmed updates the moment they arrive from the major banks and international financial platforms. This entire story is unfolding in real time before our eyes, and you absolutely do not want to miss the critical confirmations of what happens next. Until our next update, remain vigilant, ensure you are thoroughly informed, and as always, maintain a sense of cautious hope because tonight, for the first time in a very long time, it truly appears that the moment is here.